Who is it?
Hallihan, what's up?
Come in.
What's going on?
Sean Hallihan,
Hi,
ladies
man.
and
It's been a
gentlemen.
while. What's good?
Not much, man. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Oh, buddy. Are you ready?
I am, man. Let's do it.
Here we go.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, a quick little razzle tazzle. How you doing? Good morning, from Mr. Sean Hallihan.
And here's Sean Hallihan. Sean Hallihan.
What's up, buddy?
Fucking hell of a solo, bud. Hell of a solo.
It's just a warm up.
Where's your beer at?
Oh, I got a beer here.
Well, you better crack your beer.
Alright.
Before we get into this,
Okay.
you better crack your beer. You rocking some High Noon?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, only the Peterborough's finest.
Give me a cheers to that.
Cheers, man.
Get her open, bud.
Thanks for having me over. I haven't seen you in so long.
Hallihan, it's been too long. This fucking virus, I tell ya.
What virus?
I don't know nobody with the COVID.
What's that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm here. Let's talk about some music. Where it's been, where it's going, and where it's at. How you feel about that?
Nothing going on with music right now. You know,
I hear you, man.
There's a lot of people I know that it's all they do. That's their job, and right now they're trying to get by. So hopefully soon we'll be able to do that.
It's a rough go. You got to be able to play the crowds bigger than 10 people. Bigger than 10
Not
people.
allowed to sing or dance. What good is that? Like,
We need Kevin Bacon on the scene. That
There
was
you
my
go.
first thought.
there you go.
Now, you're known as one of Peterborough's drummers.
Yeah.
You're well known
yeah.
as one of Peterborough's drummers. How long you been drumming?
Geez, man. I had 22, 23 years. I started when I was 7. So
23. And now, as Robin Hawkins leads me to believe, you're only 17 years old. So how does that work?
I don't know, man. The guy can't do math. I haven't talked to Robin in a long time.
No, so in high school,
Mm-hmm.
what bands were you playing with in high school? What was happening there?
So the first band I ever got with, you know, I was really younger. It was like a couple grades younger than the other guys in the band. The band was called Broken Thoughts, and we were pretty much a Green Day cover band.
Oh, yeah. We've seen them.
We
before.
played
That's
Market
pretty good.
Hall for the Youth Emergency Shelter benefit. We did like American Idiot or something. I can't remember, but that's when I started knowing I wanted to play. Wanted to play in bands.
It's a good venue. That's a good venue.
Yeah, man, it was the first place I ever played.
It's a way to break it in.
Yeah.
That sure beats the dobro for me. Now on the topic of the dobro.
The dobro.
Now we gotta
So
talk.
don't
about the
go,
dobro.
bro.
Well, they can't go now.
Not anymore, man. It's gone.
Gone. Like many of the good ones.
Playing and jamming with random people, that was the first spot. I think I was like 18, 19, probably 18 because I remember going in and my dad had to be there.
Oh yeah.
And I was allowed to play, but then I had to get out of there, you know. Kevin used to say.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin Carley?
Yeah. Cheers to that guy.
Cheers to you and your stout. Because there are many venues in Peterborough I found that are all about live music, but that was the only one that was owned by somebody who lived for the blues music and had a blues bar. Like we had our Dave Toby's.
Dave's great, man. Shout out to Dave Toby. He's a good guy.
Wunderbar.
Brutal that.
How long you play at the Dobro? How many years did you play at the Dobro now?
Do we count them all together? Do we count like how many until I wasn't allowed to go?
In total. In total.
In total?
It doesn't need to be a straight.
I think they were open for 12 years, and I was probably in there for, I don't know, at least 7 or 8.
Well, I know your picture hung on the wall,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
That was with
Balls and Jane. We did a New Year's gig. It was Jane Archer, Johnny Fourballs, Aaron Jessup, Robin Hawkins. Oh man, maybe Rob Foreman on bass. I can't remember who played bass.
Was Foreman there? That is a
He
question.
might have been,
but we'll get to you later, Foreman. But that brings up a point. Now, you've played with plenty of bands.
Lots of people
over the time. Now, just off the top of my head, and I'm probably missing a few. There's Seagrave. There's the Lore Woods. There's Broken Harmony. There's Rockbiter. There's Basalt Zombie Cat's Meow. You even filled in for Antics on a set.
I did, and that was really cool. We opened for Guttermouth.
Right. Well,
Punk Legends. That was great.
that was at Red Dog, right?
Yep.
Now, tell me, their drummer, he couldn't make it. Jesse, great lad.
No, but you want to know something? You want to hear a story about that?
I do.
Jesse showed up at the end of the night.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. He was
That's
like, man, why
cool.
weren't you there? I guess he had to work or something.
So now, how did that gig come about? How did you get called into the Antics, fellas?
It's Stephen Cam. I've known Stephen Cam for a long time. And
I do remember that show.
I
was a good
vaguely remember that show.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
But no, I've known them for a long time, and they just said, hey, who's available? And they got me. And I think it was like 3 days of learning a half-hour, 40-minute set. They gave me a CD, and off to the basement I went. And I learned that.
And as far as I know, it worked. There were no riots that night.
Yeah.
Now, another band that you were in, Seagrave.
Seagrave, man.
Now, this was the metal outfit.
This was like chainsaw to your throat. Fucking really heavy. Very heavy. Lots of double pedal and groove.
Now, you being a drummer with a whole lot of swing, was there any metal outfits you joined before this, or was this the first dive into the real metal realm?
I've always listened to metal. Like the drumming in that I really like. It's really upbeat. A lot of footwork. Yeah, I've always listened to metal bands, and when I was in high school in grade 11 or 12, I was in a band. We sucked, man. I think I was the actually only musician in it.
What was the name of the band? Do you
Committed
remember?
to Extinction.
Committed to Extinction.
It was like a loud, what the hell is going on noise band.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the band The Chariot.
I've not.
They're just, what's going on? Really noisy, and
That's what you're going for.
that's what we wanted. We were kids, right?
Yeah.
And then yeah, just started listening to metal, and then Seagrave though, back to Seagrave. I actually got asked by an ex-girlfriend who I'd had. She knew a guy who was looking for a serious drummer who wanted to tour, and she gave me his contact. We got a hold of each other, and then Seagrave formed.
And that was that Zach?
That's Zach
That was
Cole.
Zach?
Yeah.
Zach, how you doing? All right, now you guys went on tour. How far was this tour? Where did you go?
We started off here at the Red Dog, and then we went to London, Woodstock, Tilsonburg, Windsor, I think, was on that tour. And then we came back, played Peterborough, and met up with another band called Sawyer Path. And then we went to Ottawa and played Ottawa. We were supposed to do Montreal and Quebec City, but our van broke down. So
in Ottawa?
In Ottawa, actually on the way home from Ottawa.
Home from Ottawa?
Yeah.
So you did the whole southwestern Ontario stretch.
We did,
there.
man.
Did you ever fall into any sketchy times down there? I know that as you near the Michigan border, it certainly gets a little grainier.
Tilsonburg's pretty crazy, man. It's a wild town. That was the worst gig on the tour. There was like 3 people there, and I think they were all over 60 in some dive bar. And yeah, that was pretty funny. We played our set. We were on a tour with a band called My Dear Dilemma, which is now World's Like Wildfire. They're doing really good. Check those guys out. And Choices, who are like they were a melodic, like heavy rock band. They were sick, man. So those dudes, we all had our own vehicles, like traveled around, but we were a tour package. But yeah, Tilsonburg. There's like a water park, like Wild Water and Wheels, like downtown, and some guy exposed himself, like, and it's just kids. We were like,
He exposed himself?
yeah, the OPP were there. We thought it was one of like the tour guys, like one of the guys from the bands, but it wasn't. Just some random dude. Like, oh yeah, it was nuts. The OPP showed up. We had a trailer and we had like hot plates and stuff. So we were actually cooking bacon and eggs when the cops showed up.
Oh, you weren't doing hot knives?
No. That was later on.
Cooking bacon and eggs.
No, we were cooking bacon and eggs, and I actually asked the cop if he wanted bacon and eggs. But I didn't think about it, right, asking a cop if he wants bacon. You know?
Yeah.
So everybody else on the tour was like, ugh. The cop didn't clue in, went right over his head. But yeah, that was funny. But yeah, Tilsonburg, that was brutal. And then, you know, the day before that was London. It was sold out, 350 people. Then shitty Tilsonburg.
Funny how that goes.
Yeah.
Just from town to town.
Yeah, it's the scene, right? But no, Tilsonburg, and then we stayed in Walmart parking lot in Simcoe. We played in Simcoe.
Nice.
And there was a couple other random bands touring. There's actually Monster Truck.
In the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, you can stay there. You know Monster Truck?
Oh, yeah.
Monster Truck?
Yeah.
They showed up and we were like, oh my god, it's Monster Truck. And we had
That's awesome.
We had sandwiches at like 1 in the morning in the Walmart parking lot. Yeah, it was cool.
That's a good gig.
But that's Seagrave, man. I miss those guys.
They've been disbanded now for 3 years, 4 years?
Dude, that tour I talked about will be 5 years next month.
5
years,
already.
man.
Jesus
I was
Christ,
thinking about
yeah.
that the other day.
And now that was the only real metal outfit, right?
I did a bit of work last year. Remember I played your pizza show with Heir to the Throne?
Oh, right.
And that was 2 of the guys from Seagrave, so.
Oh, right. So that was kind of the rekindling of that. But there's not much has come from that, right?
No.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate when that happens.
It's not that unfortunate. Anyway.
But you've been playing. You've been playing with a handful of other bands. There was Jagged for a while.
Still with them. I'm with them right now, but we're taking a break.
Yeah, well, COVID's got everybody shut down for a bit.
Not only that, but just mentally for some of the people, myself.
Well, I know the black man.
We're working on new material, that's why.
He's white, Blackie.
Yeah, Brian Black, what a guy.
Incredible musician. Look forward to what you two come out with in the near future.
Yep.
For sure. Also, there's the Rock Biter.
Yeah.
There's some obscure punctuation above some of the letters. Look into it.
Rock by Tour.
Rock
But
by
I'm actually
Tour.
not in the band. I just drum tech for their drummer Styx Zedinia.
Styx what?
Styx is his first name. Zedinia is his last name.
Styx Zedinia.
Yeah.
Does he ever stick it in you?
I don't know. I barely see the guy. But, you know, I just have
You
to go to the
get in
gig,
there?
set up his kit, and then...
Get out of there. Right?
Yeah, they're wild, man.
Uh,
A lot of good musicians in that band, though.
oh, guys.
You know where they're from?
Where are they from?
Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Yeah.
Did they ever?
I don't know where that is.
Did they ever cross paths with an Atreyu by chance?
I have to get a hold of them.
I don't think they cover the band. I'm not.
They pretty much went into hiding though, like once this COVID thing hit.
It took down the best of them, I tell you.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking down the best of them, let's talk about venues for a moment.
Venues.
When you started out,
I brought a gift for you though.
Oh, before we get into that, oh,
Want to have a shot?
we got some undisclosed liquors here.
I'm sure you know what that label is, but for copyright reasons. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers, internet. Wow. Oh, that worked well.
Well, thank you, Bo Bandy.
Venues. You want to talk about venues?
Woo! All right. Now, when you were young, you remember we were talking about it one time. We were talking about how they used to have live shows out at the Selwyn Church and the Kingswood, that Chaos radio station.
I knew the guy who co-owned that.
Was that Rick Kirshner or was that
Tom Wolfe.
Tom Wolfe?
He was like a promoter guy. Good bassist in town. I don't know if he's still playing. I haven't talked to him in years.
Did you ever play any of those shows?
Not those ones. I attended them, but
Oh, see, I remember that was the first punk show I got the wind knocked out of me. I was maybe 12 years old at Kinsman. They had the pool done over.
yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
Now it's like a pottery place.
Yeah, they do pottery lessons there now. No, there was some band screaming about the love of God.
Yeah, very
Very,
you know,
very
Christian bands used to do that.
That's what they were about. Christian.
That was your first like show?
Oh yeah. Oh well, first of that era. My first big concert was Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
But no, my first real punk show would have been my first punk shows would have been between the Kinsman Center and Selwyn when they were doing those. I was like 11, 12. Like I said, I remember getting the wind knocked out of me.
Yeah.
Good.
Pick me up. Alright, venues.
Venues. When you started, when you were the first few bands in high school, was it Papa's Billiards? I know that was the norm for my generation.
Like I
What
said
was it for
earlier,
you?
the first place I ever played in front of a crowd was Market Hall
Market Hall, eh?
for a benefit, and then the Spill, always the Spill. I did a show, Papa's Billiards.
Yeah.
But no, I've played everywhere
Well,
in
that-
town, man.
That George Street scene used to be vibrant for young and underage minor musicians. That was a big part of it. Papa's and the Spill.
Well,
It
yeah.
would take you if you were a high school band.
That's right. That was great, man. That was so good.
That's something that is dying off.
Yeah.
Dying off big time.
Yeah.
That is missed for sure. And then there's been a ton of venues that in the law since we talked about the Dobro. There's that Catalina's.
Yeah.
They were doing music on Hunter Street there for a while. A lot of the live music. So what's been left? The Social has started. Have you done anything over there?
Yeah. Last August when they had the Hoot Nanny on Hunter, I played 2 sets with actually Broken Harmony over there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How was
Greco came over and played. I played percussion.
Oh, you guys swapped. What were you doing? Hand percussion?
Well, yeah, the congas I have and stuff like that. But I played the opening set. Greco was actually playing on the Hoot Nanny, and then he walked down, and then I got on percussion. It was awesome. That was a good time.
The Hootenannies are usually pretty good around there. That was the first time I saw Bloodshot Bill actually.
Bloodshot Bill's awesome, dude.
At Rob Foreman's suggestion.
Yep.
He looked at me and he goes, "You don't know who Bloodshot Bill is?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Never heard of him." He goes,
Go see him. Yeah.
and it was when I was living with Lauren, so we were just across the road
Right
from
there,
Hunter Street.
yeah.
It was like that afternoon I went and great. Incredible. Now, you got linked in with my band once or twice.
Yeah.
Now, let's straight up. This was always a sloppy unit. This was never a uniform thing.
It's a joke band.
But you got involved with that business, and now at a few venues, it was a couple. When you would play with the old Bass Salt Zombie Cats Meow, that was the band name. How did you prepare differently for that than you would, say, a gig with Broken Harmony or Rockbiter or
Jagged or whoever?
yeah, maybe Jagged. Yeah, what were the different? How did you tackle that set of circumstances differently? I got to know personally.
I don't know if I can say.
It may be incriminating.
I don't know about that.
Well,
just drinking lots of beer, and then smoking lots of cigarettes,
you remember Shenanfest?
and probably doing some illicit
I remember.
activity.
I remember Shenanfest, where Spiderfest was held.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't play Spiderfest. You may have drum tech Spiderfest
I did.
unofficially. I don't know.
I didn't get paid for it.
I don't know if Jay Young would attest to this, but you did in fact. Well, kill him. You did in fact drum tech Spiderfest. I'm sure there's footage of that. I'm sure there is. But when we played Shenanfest, I don't know. I may have a lapse in memory of how it went down, but I think I was in the van doing speed and taking acid, and you guys were all doing blow off the floor talk. Right on stage. Right on stage.
I don't think so.
That must have been another band.
I don't think it was me.
That was probably another band.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah.
You're correct about that.
Yeah, because when I remember, when we went to play, I hit the floor tom and it went, oh, what the hell, man?
What is this that got my eyeballs?
Exactly. And
I
then,
remember now. I remember clear as a daisy. But you've been doing some recording with some clean cut fellas. Now, how is that recording going with Broken Harmony? I know that was a thing right before.
with the harmony.
With the harmony, the old BH.
So they're recording an album right now. I'm not on it. But I was on their first record. I think Humphrey's gonna have me come in and maybe guest. I haven't talked to the guy in so long.
Daddy?
Miss that guy.
You know, those were great times. Just jamming at Dobro with nobody watching, nobody caring, just jamming. That place was amazing for that.
He was on it?
You could get up and you could do great, or you could fuck up, and you know what?
Do better.
Do better, but the attempt was always appreciated there. It was a musician's bar for musicians owned by a musician. That's what it was.
Want another shot, buddy?
Oh yeah, I'll take another shot off you there, laddie. I'll take another shot. But you were just a tyke when you go, oh! You were just a tyke when you got into drumming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who were some of the first ones that made you think, I want to slap some skins? I don't want to.
My dad, man.
Your dad?
Yeah. When I think it was like 4 or 5. And I didn't know this until years later, but I guess my dad was a bit of a drummer around Peterborough, like before I was even thought of. But I remember my parents got me like a Fisher Price plastic $40 set from Sears or something.
Oh yeah.
There's actually a nice wrap on it too. I wish I had kept it. But I remember getting it for Christmas and being like, oh wow, right? And hitting it, and then my dad, like, all right, here, let me show you something, and he did a shuffle. So, but my dad was kind of a half-assed drummer, and I remember being that young and being like, man, I'd love to do that. Then we moved, and then another Christmas I got an actual, junior drum kit, started taking lessons, and never stopped. did like 8 years of lessons, and then just kept going. I was old enough to get in bands and meet people who play music, and it's awesome.
Now this list may be too wide, but if you need to shorten it down to 3, let me know. But 5 drummers. If you could name 5 drummers that.
Man, I'll do 10. Like, it's
Okay,
hard.
Alright.
It's hard. And
Throw them out there and tell me why.
in no particular order.
Alright.
And it's all because it's all different styles. But Bonham,
Why?
the meat and potatoes, his groove. His groove is amazing, man. And how quick his hands were. He was ahead of his time. 1 foot pedal. And just in his pocket, man. And how he made those drums sound. It wouldn't matter, man. He could go on someone else's drum kit and it would be Bonham. You would know.
Okay.
Right?
I got you
Moon,
then. Oh yeah.
because he's nuts. He was nuts, right?
Well,
A lot of people have said, well, I forgot his name, Roger from the Dobro. He used to call me Mooney all the time. I reminded him of Keith Moon.
Well, I don't think
That's
would be
more so off the kit, but
anybody with that particular energy ever again, because it wasn't. You couldn't teach that. It's unteachable what he's doing.
Ginger Baker
Oh yeah,
from Cream.
Cream.
He never rehearsed with Cream. He was see at the gig and he'd show up and he Ginger Baker. Bet you didn't know that.
No, I
Never ever rehearsed.
didn't know that. I do remember playing "Sunshine of Your Love" with Cody at Black Horse, and their fill-in drummer. I remember at the end of it, he goes, "Ginger Baker, I am not."
It's true, no one was like Ginger. Neil Peart,
Gotta give it up to Neil
just
Peart.
because of his story. He showed up for Rush. Rush had their first album out, so they had a following, but he showed up with all his drums in garbage cans. And he played for 5 minutes, and they're like, "You're hired." And it wasn't because he was all like, it was just, he was a good drummer.
The man's timing is almost unheard of. It's out of this world.
Gene Krupa.
Okay,
You
yeah.
ever heard of Gene Krupa?
That's going
The
back.
Gene
That's
Krupa
old
Orchestra,
school.
man.
Yeah.
Sing, sing, sing. That floor tom.
Those are the times of like Buddy Rich.
There's my next one.
All right. Yep.
And Gene Krupa was Buddy's major influence, right?
Yep.
So, well, it's getting tough.
Oh, you said 10. We're at what? 5,
I'm
6?
at 5 now.
5. No. You mean to tell me Ringo Starr never did it for you?
He's a pocket guy. Yeah, Ringo. I'd say Ringo. Okay, Ringo's number 6. Thank you.
I didn't mean to weasel him.
Mitch Mitchell from the Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Yes.
His roles
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
like manic depression.
He did a thing.
A lot of stuff
Yeah.
with that.
He filled space with the drums. Where
That's right.
Normally you would just.
That's right.
Yep. I hear you.
Oh, he was just on the tip of my tongue. Levon Helm from the band.
What did he taste like?
You're horrible. Levon Helm, though, man. Singing and drumming is really hard. And, yeah. His snare work is awesome.
Singing and drumming, that is great. You know who I think, and I'm sure you never do? El Duce from the Mentors. You
Huh?
familiar?
No.
No, he would.
No. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, he drummed and did vocals, but he eventually got too drunk. They needed a drummer, and then he died conspicuously on a train track. He was a part of the big. He alleged Courtney Love hired him to kill Kurt Cobain, but he didn't do it.
No, she did it.
That was his of course, but that was his rise to fame. And it was questionable whether or not he got pushed in front of that train or not. But anyway, that was El Duce.
Alright.
Well, we're at 6, 7?
7.
3 left. 3 drums.
Did I say Buddy Rich?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the next one after
Krupa. Jeez, man.
Any metal drummers?
No.
Any metal drummers?
Steve Jordan.
Steve Jordan.
You know who that is?
I don't.
So he's the drummer on all the Blues Brothers stuff. He's played John Mayer. He wasn't actually in the Blues Brothers movie though. Oh God, too many. Booker T and the MGs. Keith Richards and the Expensive Winos. Like the list goes on with that guy. But Steve Jordan, and he's got such a pocket, and he knows where to be and how to read people. He's Eric Clapton's drummer too. That guy, Steve Jordan, just amazing. He was actually the original drummer on Late Night with David Letterman. He was also the original, I want to say original, maybe the second drummer on Saturday Night Live. So he's been around for a while. Steve Jordan, man.
Steve Jordan, I hadn't heard of him.
Oh, I'll have to show you later. He's the best.
Yeah, Letterman, I mean, Paul Schaefer.
That was before Schaefer, or with Schaefer, but before Anton Fig. I have to say Anton Fig too now that
Anton Fig. Now who? Anton Fig. I'm not familiar with this.
he's the late show with David Letterman. He was the drummer, you know, the guy with the hat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you know Kiss Alive? That
Yep,
wasn't
that
Peter
album.
Chris. That was Anton Fig.
Really?
Yeah. Because Chris had left already, right?
Oh, okay. So yeah,
He's
the
just a
second
session.
Catman.
No, but he never played live. He just did studio stuff.
So you never did the cat thing.
No.
Peter Chris, you know, I don't know how you feel. I think he gets a little too much hate. I think there are worse drummers that gets more
He's
praise.
not a drummer. He's not. But, you know, I'm just saying that because like Simmons and Stanley saying that. Peter Chris is underrated.
That's
You know,
the only reason.
Gotta read the news, yeah.
That's right.
What are we at? 8 or 9?
8, right? 8.
Matt Greco.
Matt Greco going local.
He's one of my favorite drummers actually because that guy plays with everybody and he just knows, man. He's just pocket guy. He's a good improv dude. Super solid guy and it's his style, man. Matt Greco.
You know, well, you bring up Matt Greco, I want to clear something up real quick.
Sure.
There was a viral video that went around of you outside a fight at the Whistle Stop. And I want to make it clear that Matt Greco was actually not there at all.
He was in BC that night.
But you felt the need to scream his name in the camera.
I missed him.
So he got associated with that.
No, he didn't.
Oh yeah, he has said it all the time. He's like, I actually wasn't there.
No, he was on tour with Chris Colgan.
People ask him, was that you fighting?
No.
That was just Sean Hallihan yelling my name in the
Yeah.
camera. Now that's golden. That's golden.
Oh
right
shit,
there.
man.
Matt Greco!
Matt Greco. That's a thing though around town. You see him, you gotta yell that. But I didn't see him that night. I just
well,
wish
no,
he
he
was
wasn't
there.
in the province.
No, he wasn't.
Let alone the city. Alright, that was number 8.
9. Louis Belson.
Louis Belson. I don't know. Sounds like a jazz fella.
He is. He's the originator of the double kick drum.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah. So when Joey Jordison puts on his little kabuki mask, he owes it to Louis Belson?
Belson.
Belson.
Yeah.
Not
Not a
Belson.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, man.
Alright. Well, I'll tell Joey Jordison that next
Who's
time I see
Joey
him.
Jordan?
Where's the mask?
I know. I know who Jay Weinberg is.
It's like he's the guitarist for Murder Dolls. You never heard of him?
No. All right, number 10.
Number 10.
The guy who taught me. Ryan Landry.
Ryan Landry.
He's a local guy, great drummer around town.
Now,
Plays a lot with Foreman.
This is a name I've never heard.
Yeah, man.
Brian Landry.
Yeah.
Is he still playing?
The sensei. Yeah, of course he is.
In any bands that you know of?
I think he gigs a bit with the Quick Shifters, with Rob.
Yeah.
Dave Mullet Band. Pretty much, he's like a hired guy, right? So who's around that we can hire and we can just slide in?
Sure.
Can we do 11?
You know what? Sneak it in.
Alright, you said metal drummers. Matt Grenier
Matt Grenier.
from August Burns Red.
Oh yeah, now I remember this band.
Lots
Never
of
mind
blast.
the name.
Yeah, lots of blast beats. Very quick, but also very relaxed when he's doing it. You know, you see a lot of guys playing and they're like going. He's
Yeah.
just meat and potatoes, as I call it.
That's what pisses me off. When I pick up the bass and I watch Claypool, I'm like, it's just nothing. And the sounds, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I hear you there. So, Mr. Hallihan,
Yeah.
in the future, what have we got to look forward to? What is it?
A virus.
I'm talking post-COVID. Now, we got some Jagged, we got some Rock Biter, we got some Broken Harmony coming out. What's in your near future, my friend? What's going on? Because there needs to be something.
Jagged, man. We're gonna take a different approach. We might be kind of laid back acoustic stuff.
Well, that set you and Brian did alone at Homes on Pizza
Yeah.
can be found on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sounded
Is
great.
it?
Sounded great.
It's on YouTube.
There's a song from that
Where's
set.
my royalties?
When I get the cash, I'll piece you off. Don't
Yeah,
you
it
worry.
would probably be me, Dave Villeneuve, and Brian. Just patioing it up.
Do you know, Dave didn't know this. Now I've known Dave long time. He works at the pawn shop.
Yep.
So
Davey V, man.
swap lots of music gear over the years. But I saw a video of him, and I told him I saw a video of him fingering my lady on New Year's Eve, and I told him this, and he looked at me concerned. What are you talking about? I said, I gave my bass uke to Brent Michelle to take over to bring
You
this.
had me, man. I was like, what? You're
And then-
saying this right now?
There's a video of him plucking at my bass uke, and I told him, there's footage of you fingering my lady, and he goes, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I told him the bass uke, and he did the same thing you did. It was good. No, the bass, yeah. I told them. They said, they're like, I'll bring the acoustic bass. I said, yeah, but if you want to plug in, you can't plug in. They go, yeah, but if you don't want to plug in, I'm like, this still works acoustically. And they're like, yeah, what if they don't have a bass amp? Then we're going to have to use a guitar amp. I'm like, the bass uke is probably going to be better on a guitar amp than a bass.
See, all this you're talking about, and amps and all. That's why I play drums, buddy.
I hear you. You can play in the Key of Z and it works out.
That's right.
Speaking of Key of Z, now we've talked about your influences. I think I heard a bit of Neil Peart in there. I heard a bit Keith Moon.
Yeah.
Now, how are you feeling over there, Mr. Hallihan? Put another bit of that in your fucking face, and tell me how you're feeling. Because I think it's about time you rock this town, rock it inside out, and hit us with one of those old-fashioned 100% Hallihan solos.
Hell of a hands.
Hell of a hands.
Speaking of dobro.
Hallihan.
Hallihan.
Spiderfest.
Thanks for having me over, buddy. This is awesome.
Great having you, Hallihan. Great having you as always. it's all good.
You got a towel for a sec?
Is there one here? Yeah, use this guy right here. This white guy.
Throw it on me. Oh, alright, turn her off. This overheats, dude.
You good?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.